What's up, guys? It's Gunnar Gehl here, and I'm going to be doing an interview with a book of. The first question, how do you create music? Walk us through your process. So every time that I write a song, it's actually kind of a little bit different. Sometimes I start with an idea that I've had in my head, and I walk into a session like, hey, I want to write something like this. Sometimes it starts with just playing guitar chords or piano chords and getting a vibe and getting a feeling and then seeing what words stick to it. So it always differs for me. How is it being a young, successful artist? How did you get to where you are right now? I think I'm kind of just at the really, really early stage of my career, and this is just the beginning. So I don't know. I'd say how did you get to where you are right now? It just comes down to working and putting the work in and showing effort and doing what you love. So among all of your songs, which one is your favorite now and why? Well, considering that the only song that's out right now is a song called For Your Love, that has to be my answer. But I have a song coming out next month called Can't Say No, which is one of my favorite songs. And then got a whole summer full of music, which is really exciting. How can you describe your music? How would you describe your music to your new audience? I would describe my music as just big pop music and like big anthemic, like One Direction, 1989 type of songs. So, yeah. How important is social media to you and your success? I think social media is kind of one of the most important parts to all of it, which is hard because I'm not the best at social media sometimes, but I think it's the only way to really connect with your audience and with your fan base. And when, especially right now in quarantine, when there's no shows and there's no like face-to-face interaction, social media is really all that we've got. So I think it's really important. Where do you get your inspirations from? Music inspirations. Okay, so I grew up listening to a lot of John Mayer, which is where my guitar influences come from. But also I grew up with my parents kind of listening to like classic rock music. And then I have sisters who are about a year younger than me who listen to like the pop of pop music, like Hannah Montana in the day, One Direction, like pop music growing up. And so I've kind of found this like lane of like pop rock because of what my parents listen to, what my sisters listen to is kind of like this lane that I'm in now. So what keeps you busy during quarantine? What's been keeping me busy? I have been watching shows. I watched Outer Banks. I watched All American. Now I'm watching a show called Ozark, which is really good. And then recently, my sisters and I pulled a Wii out, which we have not played in a long time. So we've been playing Mario Kart and like Super Mario Bros, which has been really funny. So just doing things like that. Cooking, I've been cooking a little bit, which is fun. Making little meals, which I've never done. So, top 3 songs for you during quarantine. Oof, that's tough. Okay, I would say, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'd say Levitating off the new duo album. I would say a classic, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, John Mayer, because it can listen to that song as many times and not get tired of it. And then I would say, oh my gosh, this is hard. And then I'm gonna say Can't Say No, which is the next song coming out, to show you how excited I am for it. So, if you were a book, what book would you be and why? Open question, could be an existing book, made up book. Let's see. I'm not a crazy big reader, so. Okay, if you were a book, what book would you be and why? Ooh, I'm gonna say maybe, what is a book I read in high school that I actually liked? I think I liked the Huckleberry Finn book because he's just like a typical kid who's, like out in the wild and being an idiot, which is kind of what I do all the time. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest reader, so that's kind of a tricky question for me, but that's it.